Good morning once again, students. So, as you can see on the screen, this is the problem number 4 under capital structure theory. This is the problem number 4. So, this is a simple problem once again, but form is different. That means the findings will be different. Okay. So, again, we will solve with the help of NI and NOI approach. So, I hope you remember the formula of the first problem. The first problem we had used both this NI and NOI approach. So similar technique we will also use there. Now in this problem you are asked to find out the value of the firms A and B belonging to the same risk class under the NI approach and the NOI approach. So these are the information given. You will not write the question now. You will write it after the class. Okay. So farm A is a levered farm. Levered farm means what? It will have a loan. And farm B is an unlevered farm. Okay. EBIT is given 6 lakh for both the farms. Interest rate is 15%. For levered farm, the interest rate is interest amount is 2,40,000. Okay, the debt amount is not given, but interest is given and the rate of interest is also given. So we can calculate the value of the debt. Okay, so interest is at the rate of 15% and the amount is 2,40,000. Then other information that is given is equity capitalization rate, that is KE, is 20%. Then we have corporate tax rate of 50%. With this information, we will calculate the value of the firm using NI and NOI approach. Then one more thing we have to determine, which of the two firm has an optimal capital structure under the NI approach and the NOI approach. We have to find out the firm which has an optimal capital structure also. How will we do that? We will calculate overall cost of capital, okay, for both the firms under NI and NOI approach. For both the firms, we will calculate the KO, that is overall cost of capital, and we'll see whether the firm which is having highest value is having the lower KO or not. The firm which is having the highest value, higher value, also have the lower KO or not. If it is so, then only we can say that the firm has an optimal capital structure. Okay, so we will do this in the second step. First step is to find out the value of the firm. Do it. You know how to do it. You have done it in problem number 1. Please do it on your own. You can see the solution on your screen. Follow it and do it. Okay. Give the heading valuation of the firm under NI approach or net income approach. Then you proceed. Just like the way you have done in the first problem. We start with EBIT, then we deduct interest, then we find out net income before tax, then we deduct tax, which is 50% here, then we find out net income after tax, then we write equity capitalization rate, then we find out market value of equity by dividing the earnings after tax by the equity capitalization rate. Then we find out market value of debt. How will we do this now? We have the interest amount. We will divide the interest amount by the rate of interest. That is 2,40,000 divided by 15%. Then we will get the market value of debt. Please do it. Okay. Find out the value of the firm.
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
ma'am, how do we find the market value of debt?
You have to divide the interest amount, that is 2,40,000, by the rate of interest, that is 0.15.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay, I think it is done. Have you calculated total market value of both the firm? It's just the same process, okay? If you're not done, you can also try after the class. Same process, just like the problem number 1, okay? All right. So since we have to also find out which of the firm is having the optimal capital structure. So our next step will be to calculate the overall cost of capital. Okay. So we will find out for firm A first, then we'll find out for firm B. Since this is NI approach, so KE will be same as it is given in the problem for the for both for the firms. for both the firms. Okay. In NOI approach, we will have to calculate KE separately. All right. So first, let us calculate the KO for firm A. What will it be? The formula remains the same. This is the same formula that we used yesterday. It is KI into B by V. B means the amount of debt by V, that is total value, plus KE into S by V. KE is the cost of equity, that is equity capitalization rate. S is the market value of equity and V is the total market value of the firm. Okay, so KI, can anyone tell me how is it becoming 7.5%? In the problem it is given 15%, no? Can anyone tell me how is it becoming 7.5%? KI is shown as 7.5% in the solution, right? But in the problem it is given as 15%. How is it becoming 7.5%?
15% was for both the firms.
15% for both the firms. Who is this? Who is this?
Ma'am,
Saurabh.
Saurabh.
Farm B does not have any debt. Farm B does not have any debt. How you are saying 15% for both the firms? Could be. Give me a proper answer. Anyone? Mute yourself, sir. Yeah, give me a proper answer. Who knows the answer? Yesterday also you did. That's why I was asking everyone, what is the answer? What is the answer? What is the answer? No one had any doubt. So I thought you understood why it is becoming 7.5% when it is given as 15% in the sum. Tell me, no one knows the answer. To please study. Okay, if you have online mode of examination, still in FM and QTM you have to solve problems. Do not think that just like last semester examination you will also write simply the assignments and pass. This is not going to happen in FM and QTM because both have problems, complete problems. No theory will be there. Hardly in FM there might be few theories, but problem will have to be there. Will be there. Lot of 80% problem will be there. How will you solve? This was taught while I was teaching cost of capital. This was taught while I was teaching cost of capital. When we calculate cost of debt, we deduct tax rate from that debt because rate of interest is deducted before paying the tax. So it's a relaxation format. So from cost of debt, tax is deducted and cost of debt gets reduced. From 15%, we will deduct 1 minus 0.5. Like that, it will come as 7.5%. That means 15% divided by 2. That is how it will come as 7.5%. So find out overall cost of capital, find out. For A, it will be 7.5% multiplied by 16 lakh by 25 lakh. 16 lakh is coming from this place, from the table. And total market value is also coming from the table. You have find out, hopefully. And K is 20% given in the question. And 9 lakh is the value of the equity for firm A. And 25 lakh is the total value of the firm. 9 lakh by 25 lakh. That is how I think the answer is correct. 12%. Check whether it is correct or not. And overall cost of capital for firm B is going to be 20% only, because in firm A there is no debt. In firm B there is no debt. It is an unlevered firm. So the cost of equity will be the overall cost of capital. Okay. Then we have valuation of the firm. Then we will find out valuation of the firm under NOI approach. This formula was also given in the last problem. Same formula you will use. First you will find out value of the unlevered firm. First, you will find out value of the unlevered firm, which will be EBIT into 1 minus T divided by KE. So KE is 20% for the unlevered firm. Then 6 lakh is the EBIT given. Tax is 0.5. So that is how you will get 15 lakh. Then value of the levered firm will be the formula. You will use the formula value of the unlevered firm plus B into T. B is the value of the debt, which is 16 lakh, into T, that is tax rate, 0.5. That is how you will get 23 lakh as the total value of the firm A. Now under NOI approach, for the firm A, that is levered firm, we cannot simply take the same equity capitalization rate, that is 20%, we cannot take. We will have to calculate. Okay. So how do we calculate for the levered firm? Listen to me first, then you can solve it after the class, since we are managing with both the classes in 1 hour time. So listen to me. You can follow the recording also, that will be uploaded, and then you can do the sum in your copy. Listen to me first carefully, okay? Do not sleep. When I am talking in the class, do not sleep. Okay, so value of the levered firm is equals to value of the unlevered firm plus B into T. That is how you will get the value of total value of the firm A. Now, as I told you that in NOI approach, we cannot simply take 20% as the cost of equity for the levered firm also. For unlevered firm, it is 20%, but for the levered firm, it cannot be 20%. Okay. So what we will do is, for finding the market value, for finding the overall cost of capital for firm A, we will first find out the market value of the equity of firm A. We know that total is 23 lakh, and we also know that the amount of debt is 16 lakh, right? So 23 minus 16 will be the value of the equity, isn't it? Because total market value is the total of equity and debt. So following that rule, we will have to find out the value of the equity value of the farm A. That is how we will get 7 lakh. Then from here, you will have to calculate the cost of equity. 1,80,000 is the EBIT. 1,80,000 is the, sorry, it's not EBIT, it's the earnings after the tax, earnings available to equity shareholder. Earnings, 1,80,000 is the earnings available to equity shareholder. That will be divided by the equity value of farm A. That is how you will get the cost of equity as 25.71%. Okay, so from here we will calculate the overall cost of capital. That is KI will again be 7.5%, B will be 16 lakh, V will be 23 lakh, plus KE is coming from here, from this calculation, 25.71% into S, that is 7 lakh divided by 23 lakh. That is how you will get the answer as 12.975. Just check it, okay? I was in a hurry when I was calculating. Still, you check the calculation. This is how you will get 12.975% as the overall cost of capital for farm A, which is a levered farm. For farm B, it is going to be 20% because there is no leverage in farm B. So for farm A, it is 12.975%. It is less than 20%. And following the NI approach also, was the value less than, yeah, the value of KO was also less than KO of farm B. So we can say that since the market value of farm A is high and also the overall cost of capital is low, that is why we can say that farm A is having, or farm A has, an optimal capital structure. Okay, I'll discuss this part tomorrow again. This part, only the last part. How do we determine whether a farm has an optimal capital structure? This one I will again discuss tomorrow, but the calculation should be completed today itself. Okay, if you go on like this, then I will be compelled to call you in the college. I will take permission from anyone. I'll ask you to come to college and I will take one-to-one interview, one-to-one, counseling session, mentoring session I will take and see what is your condition. All problems are logical, both in QTM as well as FM. Still you are not studying properly, then we are going to have problem. I'll give you attendance, okay? For both the classes, I'll give you attendance. 15, 14 people are there only. Just wait for a while. Okay. All right, you can leave. See you tomorrow again at 7. 7:30 we will start tomorrow.